Welcome to Silent Crime Case, where we explore the dark and twisted stories of real-life crimes. What started as a perfect life quickly unraveled into a tale of betrayal, lies, and cold-blooded revenge. In today's episode, we uncover the chilling details behind the murder of Sarah Lewis and the horrifying vengeance carried out by her husband, Michael Lewis. Stay with us as we reveal every shocking twist and turn in this tragic story. Sarah Lewis was a 34-year-old woman who lived with her husband Michael in Willow Creek, a quiet town in California. She was a dedicated high school teacher, loved by her students and colleagues alike. With a bachelor's degree in English literature from the University of California, Berkeley, Sarah had a passion for books and often organized community events like book clubs and poetry readings. Her favorite novels, such as To Kill a Mockingbird and Pride and Prejudice, were frequently recommended to her friends and students. Sarah's perfect life, or was it? Sarah wasn't just a book lover. She was also an avid runner. Her athletic spirit led her to participate in several marathons, and she was even training for another one before her untimely death. Early morning jogs around Willow Creek's Lakeside Trail were part of her daily routine. But behind her seemingly perfect life, there were secrets that few knew about. Sarah was close to her family, her husband Michael, her parents, Richard and Carol Thomas from Ohio, and her younger sister, Emily. She often spent weekends with them, attending church services or enjoying picnics at the park. Friends described her as warm-hearted and always willing to lend a hand. Sarah's radiant smile had a way of making people feel special, but despite the kindness she spread, her life would soon spiral into a nightmare. The calm before the tragedy. In the days leading up to her death, Sarah kept herself busy with her usual activities. She was planning the next meeting for her book club, excited to discuss the latest novel on their list, Her Nights Under the Moon, by Anna Scott. She had just bought a new pair of running shoes, ready for the upcoming Willow Creek Charity Run, an event she looked forward to. But something ominous was lurking beneath the surface, something that would cut Sarah's life short. On the morning of the April 12, 2010, Willow Creek was covered in a light fog. At 7:30 a.m., 92-year-old retiree Helen Watson-Bree was walking her dog along the familiar paths of Lakeside Trail. She enjoyed listening to her favorite radio station, 98.5 FM, which was playing the Backstreet Boys that morning. But her peaceful walk was interrupted when her dog began to bark and tug on the leash, leading her toward a cluster of trees. What she found would haunt her forever. Lying on the ground was Sarah Lewis, her eyes blown out by gunshots, blood pooling around her head. A chilling message was scrawled next to her in blood. "I am a cheater." A gruesome discovery. Helen, in shock, immediately called 911 on her Nokia 3310, her hands trembling as she described the horrifying scene to the operator. Within minutes, the sound of sirens pierced the quiet morning air. Police and paramedics arrived, securing the area. Sarah Lewis was pronounced dead at the scene, and the community of Willow Creek was shaken to its core. How could someone so well-loved meet such a violent end? The investigation was just beginning. Detectives James Harrison and Laura Grant were assigned to the case. Detective Harrison, a veteran investigator known for his attention to detail and calm demeanor, worked alongside the younger, empathetic Grant, who had a reputation for her methodical approach to solving cases. The crime scene was unsettling. Sarah had been shot twice, once in each eye, and the message beside her hinted at a personal vendetta. Could it have been an act of passion? Or evidence mounts against Michael. Just as Michael's alibi seemed solid, new evidence surfaced that cast doubt on his claims. Ballistics tests revealed that the bullets used in Sarah's murder came from a 9mm handgun registered in Michael's name. He claimed the gun had been stolen months earlier, but detectives were skeptical he had never reported it missing. Michael's carefully constructed story was starting to fall apart. But was it enough to prove his guilt? A new suspect emerges, Jessica Warner. As detectives continued their investigation, another name surfaced. Jessica Warner, a close friend of Sarah's. Jessica, a 32-year-old spiritual healer from Los Angeles, had a reputation for her outgoing personality and unorthodox beliefs. She was known to bring homemade health drinks to Sarah's home, often speaking about the benefits of holistic living. But was there more to their relationship than met the eye? When questioned, Jessica revealed a shocking detail: she and Sarah had been romantically involved. She claimed their relationship was consensual and loving, but could this secret have played a role in Sarah's murder? Jessica had an alibi. She had been hosting a spiritual healing session at her home the night Sarah was killed, and several attendees confirmed her story. Still, detectives couldn't shake the feeling that Jessica might know more than she was letting on. Was she protecting someone, or was she involved in a deadly game of secrets? A shocking breakthrough. Just as the case seemed to hit a dead end, a local retiree, Mary Wright, made a startling discovery while cleaning her garage. In an old box, she found an unmarked VHS tape. Curious, she played it on her Panasonic VCR, and what she saw left her horrified. The tape contained a homemade adult video featuring Sarah Lewis and Terry Key. Daniel Harper, the local high school principal. Shocked, Mary immediately handed the tape over to the police, who were equally stunned. The discovery of the tape not only confirmed Sarah's affair with Daniel, but also suggested a possible motive for her murder. Could someone have killed Sarah to prevent the tape from being exposed? Daniel Harper's interrogation. With the discovery of the VHS tape, Daniel Harper, the 65-year-old principal of the local high school, became the next key suspect. Known for his strict administrative style, Harper had earned a reputation for making controversial decisions, like banning books he deemed inappropriate for students. But it was his affair with Sarah that now placed him directly in the spotlight of the murder investigation. Detectives brought Daniel in for questioning on April 13, 2010. The once composed principal appeared visibly shaken as he sat in the interrogation room. When confronted with the VHS tape, his initial reaction was shock and shame. He admitted to the affair with Sarah but was adamant that it was consensual and that he had nothing to do with her death. Daniel explained that the affair had been ongoing for about a year, and they had taken great measures to keep it secret. He revealed that Jessica had even filmed several of their encounters, something the detectives found disturbing, though it didn't directly link him to the murder. Daniel provided an alibi, stating that on the night of Sarah's murder, he had been grading papers and watching the news at home with his wife, who corroborated his story. Despite his alibi, detectives remained suspicious. Could Daniel's guilt over the affair have driven him to kill Sarah? The explicit nature of the tape, coupled with his authoritative demeanor, suggested a man capable of keeping secrets, but was murder one of them? A twist in the investigation Michael's guilt revealed. Just as detectives felt they were no closer to solving the case, a breakthrough occurred. On April 14, 2010, forensic evidence emerged that pointed directly to Michael Lewis. Surveillance footage from a nearby gas station showed Michael purchasing gloves and water the night of the murder, directly contradicting his earlier claim that he had been working late. Additionally, ballistics tests confirmed that the bullets used in Sarah's murder came from the 9mm handgun registered in Michael's name, which he had claimed was stolen months prior. The final nail in the coffin was the discovery of gunpowder residue on a jacket found in Michael's closet. Further incriminati. It was Michael, her own husband, who had taken her life. The trial of Michael Lewis. Michael's trial began on August 2, 2011, at the Sutter County Courthouse. The case had captured national attention, and the courtroom was packed with District Attorney Lisa Monroe, known for her tenacity and thoroughness, led the prosecution. Monroe argued that Michael's jealousy over Sarah's affair with Daniel Harper had driven him to kill her. Reporters, family members, and residents of Willow Creek, who were eager to see justice served. She presented damning evidence. The gunpowder residue on Michael's jacket, the surveillance footage from the gas station, and the ballistics report linking the murder weapon to Michael. Just as the trial was nearing its end, the detectives uncovered an unexpected piece of evidence, a hidden journal belonging to Sarah Lewis. Inside, Sarah had written detailed accounts of her life in the months leading up to her murder. In the journal, she revealed that she had been receiving anonymous threatening letters, warning her to end her relationship with both Michael and Daniel. The letters, written in a cold and calculated tone, hinted that someone had been watching Sarah for months. This discovery threw a wrench into the prosecution's theory. Could there have been a third party involved in Sarah's murder? Someone who knew of her affairs and wanted revenge? The unsettling question loomed. Was Michael truly acting alone, or had he been manipulated by someone lurking in the shadows? On the defense side, Robert Larson, a seasoned attorney, attempted to cast doubt on the prosecution's case. He argued that the evidence was circumstantial, and that the true motive behind Sarah's murder could have been rooted in her complicated relationships with both Daniel Harper and Jessica Warner. However, Larson's efforts were no match for the overwhelming evidence against Michael. After 3 weeks of testimony, the jury deliberated for 5 days. On August 25, 2011, they returned their verdict: guilty of first-degree murder. Michael Lewis was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. As the sentence was read, Michael remained stoic, showing no visible emotion. For Sarah's family, the verdict brought a sense of closure, though the pain of losing her would remain forever. The aftermath, a town reeling. With Michael Lewis behind bars, the town of Willow Creek struggled to make sense of the tragedy that had unfolded. Daniel Harper, once a respected high school principal, resigned from his position and moved to a small town in Washington state, hoping to escape the scandal that had tarnished his reputation. Despite his affair with Sarah, he was never charged with any crime related to her death. Jessica Warner, the spiritual healer who had been romantically involved with Sarah, returned to Los Angeles. Though cleared of any involvement in the murder, her reputation suffered due to the scandal. She attempted to continue her work as a healer, but the shadow of her connection to the case loomed over her life. As for Michael, now serving a life sentence, he struggled to adjust to life in prison. He participated in counseling and anger management programs, but the weight of his actions haunted him. Occasionally, Michael wrote letters to his family, including Sarah's parents and sister, hoping to one day gain their forgiveness, though it seemed unlikely. A community in reflection. The murder of Sarah Lewis left a deep scar on the community of Willow Creek. Local organizations began hosting workshops on domestic violence awareness, inspired by the tragic story. Many in the community became more vigilant, discussing the importance of recognizing warning signs in relationships and seeking help when needed. Sarah's legacy lived on through the causes she supported and the love she had shared with her friends, family, and students. Though her life had been tragically cut short, the community remained committed to honoring her memory by raising awareness of the dangers of domestic violence. Conclusion: a tragic reminder. The story of Sarah Lewis serves as a devastating reminder of the hidden struggles that can exist beneath the surface of even the most seemingly perfect lives. The tragic consequences of jealousy, betrayal, and revenge can lead to unimaginable outcomes, and in this case the cost was the life of a kind-hearted woman who had so much left to give. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Silent Crim.